Former Falcon great and Dirty Bird Jamal Anderson joins Bob Whitfield, Jeffrey Schechter, and me on the fastest 30 minutes in football, Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by SD Services, Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and the Orlando Law Firm. Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Fantasy Football League Master Adam Brown, Game Analysis with Nikki Williams, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Ed Schechter, Medical and Injury Update with Dr. Andrew Lalage, and your host, Atlanta sports legend Bob Neal. Today's SEC College Report is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers. Choose Nissan.com.
And we're joined by one of the dirtiest of the dirty birds, Jamal Anderson. It's okay to say dirty when you're talking about the birds.
When you're talking about the Falcons.
He cleans up well, Bob.
He does. He's not a bad television guy. As great at running back as he was. As a matter of fact, number 32, I don't mind saying it, my favorite Falcon running back ever to watch. Here you go, scoring one of your many touchdowns.
It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. And you know what's funny about these clips, Bob? Every single one of these touchdowns, I'm running to the left side.
Yeah.
Well done, Bob Whitfield. Well done.
He knows how to protect his own neck. Run to a guy that protects you. There you go.
Run to a guy that protects him, and also the guy to compliment. You learned that early on, too.
Yes.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the University of Georgia as we get started today, and Chad Kelly. And here's what the new head coach had to say.
The quarterback is as talented as I've seen, as I said, at throwing the ball. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's very athletic, which makes it hard to get him on the ground when you do win in pass rush because he can scramble. And the wideouts are big and physical.
All right, there you're talking about the Ole Miss quarterback. Right. However, Jamal, the Jacob Eason, the young guy for Georgia, you like him?
I like him a lot. I mean, who doesn't like him? You know, everybody talked about this guy. He's obviously a big-time recruit coming in.
Seems mature.
He's very mature. Big game for Jacob Eason last week. The one thing I would like to stay away from is 55 passes. I don't want to see a young quarterback, especially a guy who's just learning the system and trying to mature in the SEC, throwing the ball that many times. So Georgia's got to do a better job of running the ball. But the talent is there, and they've got to be excited, especially the way he played last week.
Exactly. That number of passes means you're usually trying to catch up.
Yes.
It is never a good sign. All right, the schedule of games in the SEC, I'm going to go ahead and pick Missouri to win, Mississippi State and Alabama. Oh, that's right, they're out of conference games. Although you never know what's going to happen there. The rest of them here, we took at Vanderbilt and Western Kentucky. I think Vandy handles them. LSU and Auburn, that's one that's going to be a beauty early, Bob Whitfield. What about that Auburn offense?
Well, you know what they say about a great offense is a better defense, and Auburn's going to need a better defense. And Malzahn, he's on the hot seat, you know. Everybody knows it's been heating up since he lost 10 of the last 12 matchups in the SEC, and he can't get a running game started. And his defense has the whole star quarterbacks coming up week in, week out. Bye-bye, Malzahn.
All right, we have our Gators and Vols coming up next.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, where every jackpot is a good jackpot.
All right, the Gators and Vols, always a big football game, and it always involves a quarterback on one team or both teams. And Jamal, let's talk about Austin Appleby.
You know what's interesting about Austin, Bob? He's a guy who's from Purdue, and nobody expected him, especially this point in the season, to be the star quarterback for the Florida Gators. And guess what the Tennessee fans did? They started a GoFundMe to fund a funeral for Austin Appleby should he get hurt in this game. Guess what, Tennessee? Yes, this is true. Tennessee, you are not that good yet. You should go fund the rest of your team. I think you guys got talent and there was expectations, but you got to bring it each and every week on the field. It's going to be interesting, but Florida has had the advantage in this game. I don't even know what it's been like the last 10 games where Florida's been dominant.
Yeah,
11 in a row.
Yes.
11 in a row,
yes.
yeah. And Bob Whitfield, let's talk about the UT quarterback.
Well, he's a handsome kid.
Yeah.
He looks good, sharp dressing, he's a good kid. But I think the offensive line have been letting him down. The left tackle's been giving up too much pressure, and he has to dance in the pocket too much, and he's been looking to scramble too much. I want to see that handsome kid stand up in the pocket and deliver passes downfield. I think Joshua Dobbs can pull out a win.
All right. We're going to find out what this man over here, who is all about picking the winners, thinks about the game. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Tough game. It's time for Tennessee to show what they got. I think they do beat Florida. Give the 6.5 with Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, huh? Early start over Florida. Well, it hasn't been that way recently.
No.
Well, last year they gave the game away.
Yeah.
They had it all wrapped up in.
All right, I'm going with you. I always go with Jeffrey on this, by the way. And by the way, it pays, if you know what I mean. Now, next, we're going to go to pro football and a couple of things these guys know about the Atlanta Falcons and where they are right now. Stay with us on Play to Win.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Take on sudden stops in Nissan Sentra, Altima, and Maxima with intelligent safety shield technologies. Get to your local Nissan store today for 0% financing for up to 72 months or save up to $4,500 on the 2016 Altima.
Congratulations, Stan. You won the Cash for Life game, so this is yours.
No way! No way! No way! I'll get the letter again.
Winning never gets old with Georgia's brand new draw game where you can win up to $1,000 a day for life. Introducing Cash for Life, all new from the Georgia Lottery.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured in an accident, don't drop the ball by letting the insurance company run all over you. I worked as an insurance lawyer for 10 years and I know their tactics and game plan. I'm Roger Orlando of the Orlando firm. Let our 30 years of experience tackle the insurance company for you. Our team will get you every dollar you deserve. So put the ball in our hands and we'll get your case across the goal line. Find us online at atlanta.law or call 678-LAW-FIRM.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Lease the all-new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month at Volvo Cars of Marietta.
Today's NFL Report is being brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Always the best deal, always.
There you are. You were ready for TV way back in the day. Look at these guys do that here. Of course, the offensive linemen never get credit, right?
It's smoother. It's something you rock back.
See, do you remember any of this?
It only works when you score a touchdown, Bob.
That's right. You can't do any of that kind of stuff unless your team's winning or you're scoring, right?
Got to be, yes. That's
but
true.
You were scoring and winning in those days, so we got to see a lot of the dirty bird. I want to talk to both of you about the top passing offenses in the NFL. And first, Bob Whitfield, the Falcons are averaging 356 yards a game. My question is, are they silencing the critics yet?
Well, I mean, who cares about what the critics think? They should be looking in the mirror every week and trying to figure out what they have to do to get better. So we're going to criticize them often. We will always talk about Matt Ryan and what he has and has not done. But the Falcons are a good team. They just need to show up every week and show the fans what they really have with Julio Jones and a defense that is starting to pick up.
Yeah, and a running game that's not bad, Jamal.
No, it really isn't bad. And it was interesting. This offseason, you heard conversations about the Falcons wanting to take Devontae Freeman and whittle down his carries and his workload. And we've actually seen that. Tevin Coleman's come in, and they've basically split time between both of the running backs, which I like, especially if you're in this day and age and with this league right now. Tevin Coleman is a strong runner, but Devontae Freeman is a beast. I love the way he attacks the line of scrimmage, and I love the way he attacks each time he gets the ball moving forward. So I'd like to see both of them do stuff, but I want in certain situations 2-4 in there.
2-4. Remember 2-4. All right, let's talk about NFL Week 3. The most interesting game this week, you think, Bob Whitfield?
Well, that has to be the Vikings-Panthers. You know,
yeah,
I keep it in the NFC South, Bob. Vikings-Panthers is a good matchup because we saw the Vikings open up their home stadium with the win, with Sam Bradford coming in and starting his first job as a Viking. And we got Carolina with Cam Newton. He's been taking a lot of headshots. So we want to see how the defense attacks Cam Newton, and that's going to be a good matchup for the NFC South.
One of the better defenses in the Vikings, and without Adrian Peterson, we'll see.
Interesting game. Most interesting game to you?
Outside of the one going on in New Orleans, it's got to be the Steelers and the Eagles. Both two undefeated teams, and you got the rookie quarterback in Carson Wentz versus one of the best quarterbacks in football in Ben Roethlisberger. Two teams that are playing very good on both sides of the ball, even with players missing here and there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here and what Wentz is able to do with that Steelers defense.
Yeah, let's get your take on it, Jeffrey. What do you think?
You look out for Minnesota playing Carolina. Their defense is excellent. And Denver playing Cincinnati, their defense is excellent. Those numbers we saw with passing yards and all that, all those teams were 1-1 or 0-2. Minnesota's 2-0, and Denver's 2-0. They're the two best defenses in football. Look out for that.
All right, Bob Whitfield, biggest surprise you've seen this year?
Well, Bob, my biggest surprise is Seattle. I thought Seattle would come out and be rolling like gangbusters. That offense had been slow to unbearable to watch, and Russell Wilson has just been running and scrambling around there doing absolutely nothing. They're not scoring points, and that vaunted defense, it's not so vaunted no more. We want to see more out of Seattle.
Guess what, Bob?
What?
They're missing a beast mode.
They are. That's the key.
They're missing. Marshawn Lynch is not coming back, so get it together.
Yeah, that's absolutely got to have that guy. All right, now it's time for Ippolito's You Be the Expert. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be number one by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back early and often. Prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting college and NFL games. Coming up in just a moment, Falcons and Saints preview. Stay with us.
Landmark Savings Tracker Alert announcing a Jeep celebration event. We're jammed with Jeeps and they gotta go. Get a new Jeep for less than anybody else only at Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat, the area's fastest growing Jeep dealership. How? Because we do deals the other guys just won't. 455 Jeeps, 455 Jeep celebration event deals. Nobody beats Landmark. Nobody. Always the best deal. Always.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and SD Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that. Save energy and money with a dual fuel system from SD Services.
Introducing Longhorn's Great American Steak Dinner for $12.99. Perfectly seasoned sirloin with your choice of side, plus an appetizer. Or a dessert. Only at Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Take on sudden stops in Nissan Sentra, Altima, and Maxima with intelligent safety shield technologies. Get to your local Nissan store today for 0% financing for up to 72 months. Or save up to $4,500 on the 2016 Altima.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and SD Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that.
Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Even though Georgia ran for 185 yards a game and 557 in this game, it was a TD with Eason to Isaiah McKenzie that was the winning touchdown. 20-yarder, fourth down, minute 29 left, and a 28-27 win for the Bulldogs. And Jamal Anderson, I want to talk to you a little bit about that Georgia running game, and that's what got them there. As you always said with the Falcons, no matter how they're throwing, it's the running game that gets us there.
Yeah, the running game pushes you. And when you have a roster of backs with Nick Chubb and Sonny Michel, and down the line is a former heavyweight champion son in Elijah Holyfield.
Exactly.
Georgia's got the backs. It's just about having the consistency. As I mentioned earlier, I would prefer not to see a true freshman quarterback throw the ball 55 times in a game. So the running game for the Bulldogs is of critical importance, and that's getting Chubb going, and that's getting Sonny Michel when he's healthy and they're going, and the other guys, because they have such a great complement of guys. But it's about being on the same page with that offensive line and getting that production.
And the offense for Ole Miss starts and stops, but really starts with Chad Kelly.
Definitely, Bob. Chad Kelly's been heating it up. He has 10 touchdowns in the last 2 games. He's been doing his thing. And really, Kirby Smart was talking about you might die by slow, death with paper cuts from this quarterback because he'll bleed you to death. And that's what he'll do. He'll bleed you to death with his efficiency on offense to throw the ball to many receivers. And they've been playing some good ball at Ole Miss. So look for a tough game for Georgia.
All right. How do you see it, Jeffrey?
Well, the Bulldogs struggle with 2 pretty bad teams. They are going to be good. It's going to happen, but not right yet. Give the 6.5 with the Rebels.
All right, Buck Ballou from 680 is going to join us now, and Buck is talking about the first really big weekend in the SEC.
We'll call it Separation Saturday in the SEC with a lot of big games out there, including this Georgia-Ole Miss showdown in Oxford. Are you a contender or are you a pretender? We're going to find out some answers to those questions here with Jacob Eason on offense. And so impressed with the young freshman. Has earned the start, and I've often said, believe a quarterback becomes a starter. He earns the job when he helps the team win, and he certainly did that out in Missouri. 55 attempts, tied for the most in Bulldog history, and that 4th down throw was as clutch a throw as I've seen in a long, long time. Put some touch on the ball, 4th and 10, game hanging in the balance. Jacob Eason is off to an outstanding start in his career, and he's going to have to play well in Ole Miss to get a victory there. Georgia's had trouble running the ball. I would still hand that thing to Chubb, but obviously Jacob Eason's going to have to make a lot of big plays in Oxford if Georgia's going to come back home a winner and stay in the hunt in that SEC chase.
This week's Keys to Success is brought to you by Volvo Cars of Marietta, where you can always expect the best.
Ryan under center, straight drop. Looks left, pumps, throws. Jones at the 10, 5, and he'll score. Sean Smith counting nickels and dimes. Somehow or another let Julio Jones cross him.
Number 11 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Julio Jones,
Yes.
the star these days. But let's face it, offensive keys are more than just the passing game.
Yes, they are more than just passing. Although the passing game is doing very, very well right now, it is very important. Healthy Julio Jones, please. You need number 11 healthy, and obviously to get him the ball. Devontae Freeman, I talked about it earlier with the running back by committee that the Falcons are doing right now. They need to continue to do that because they're having success with it. But when the Falcons attack, when they get into their no huddle, when they mix it up, and when they attack and they don't have any turnovers in the red zone, you saw what could be possible with this offense and with the talent around. We need to continue to bring Sanu along with Julio. Yep. And the weapons are there. Just got to get on play together.
And as usual, a good offense helps the defense and vice versa, but the defense is playing pretty well.
Well, I don't know if you call it pretty well. They've been playing. They've been playing. They've been competitive. They've been very competitive.
All right, tell it like it is.
Secondary and defensive front. It's the pass rush and it's the cornerbacks. You're going to have to go against Drew Brees in New Orleans. You got Willie Snead, a receiver, lighting it up for New Orleans. He actually has more yards than Julio Jones. So we need something out of Vic Beasley. We need some sacks out of Vic Beasley. But he can't do it alone. But a little bit of pressure, some little push up front, and that cornerbacks and DBs holding up, we'll see something.
He sounds like a coach talking to him.
Yeah. Dwight Freeney and Obi. We just re-signed O'Brien Schofield, so it would be nice. Definitely need to get some sort of pressure on Drew Brees.
All right, Jeffrey, who are you picking?
New Orleans could have been 2-0. They lost 2 tough, tight games. They go 0-3, their season's over. I'm going to give them the edge, being that they're home. Give the 3 with the Saints.
All right, at New Orleans. And if you want to outfox your fantasy league, you'll find out how when we come back with Football's Play to Win.
You never know when the moment will strike. And when it does, you want to be ready. Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails can help you enjoy a more satisfying eating experience. Mellow Mushroom is safe for daily use. If you find yourself sitting in a Mellow Mushroom for more than 4 hours, you may want to go home and come back another day. Mellow Mushroom is not for everyone. Just kidding, it is. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. He may want to come with you.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The East and the West are mine. The North and the South are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Lease the all-new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month at Volvo Cars of Marietta.
There are things in life that just go together. It's like they're always side by side. Because when we put them together, they're better. Like home and auto insurance from State Farm. They just go together. And they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Today's Fantasy Report is being brought to you by SD Services, serving all of Atlanta since 1949.
Fantasy football with Adam Brown. I notice you're heavy with Falcons and Saints.
I'm excited about it because I'm going to be at the shootout in New Orleans this weekend, or on Monday night, I should say. Right. Let's start with Matt Ryan. Okay, Matt Ryan has 730 yards passing so far this season. New Orleans has given up back-to-back 300-yard games. Love Matt Ryan in this shootout. Melvin Gordon for the San Diego Chargers. Now, with Danny Woodhead out for the season, look, Indianapolis has given up back-to-back 100-yard games. Melvin Gordon should have a nice game. Yeah. And then Matt Forte at the bottom of the list had 3 touchdowns last week, and Kansas City's terrible versus the run. So look for him to have a nice week. On the second page now in our receivers. Right. Okay, we have Willie Snead. I like Willie Snead this week. He's averaging 7 receptions per game, and he has 2 touchdowns already. And in the shootout, the Falcons' bad defense, they're going to throw the ball over the top. Willie Snead could have a nice week. Also, Jacob Tamme for the Falcons has 11 receptions so far this season. Like him a lot with Matt Ryan. And Kobe Fleener at the bottom. Hasn't had a great season, but the Falcons have given up 7 touchdowns through the air. Kobe Fleener, this could be a coming out party for him, just like Ben Watson was last year in the Falcons-Saints game in New Orleans on Monday night.
Who's your sleeper?
Sleeper is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's going to have a game, though, against a bad Chicago defense. Look for him to have a nice day this week.
You mean the monsters of the Midway won't be monsters this week, according to this guy?
Not a chance.
And that's it on your fantasy football. We'll be back with more in just a moment on Football's Play to Win.
Good luck, everyone.
Today's show is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery and Longhorn Steakhouse.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and SD Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that.
Landmark Savings Tracker Alert, the exclusive home of the Upside Down 10 event and Georgia's #1 Ram dealer, declares a Ram Power Days event. 500 Rams, 500 powerful deals. We have the most, we sell the most, so you save the most. Because we do deals the other guys just won't. Hurry to Landmark's Ram Power Days event. Nobody beats Landmark. Nobody. Always the best deal. Always.
Congratulations, Stan. You won the Cash for Life game, so this is yours.
No way! No way! No way! I'll get the letter again.
Winning never gets old with Georgia's brand new draw game where you can win up to $1,000 a day for life. Introducing Cash for Life, all new from the Georgia Lottery.
X. X is that unknown factor. X is provocative. X is where you find the shiny stuff. X is love, and lust, and power, and pomp. This is the X side of infinity. Lease the Infinity QX50 for $319 a month, or finance at 1.9% APR at your Atlanta area Infinity retailer.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and SD Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that. Save energy and money with a dual fuel system from SD Services.
Today's player injury and medical report is being brought to you by the Orlando Law Firm. Put a former insurance lawyer in your corner.
All right, it's time for Dr. Lalagi on our player medical report. Today, you're talking running backs.
Lots of injuries to running backs this past weekend. So let's talk about Arian Foster. Yeah. We've been talking about this guy for 3 years, and we've Inside Injuries has always said, do not start him, do not start him, do not start him. Well, grade 1 groin strain. He had one in 14. He had one in 15. Optimal recovery time at 3 weeks, but I would not start him. Let's talk about Doug Martin. Grade 2 hamstring strain. Optimal recovery time is 3 weeks. He's expected to miss 3 weeks. So if he stays out for 3 weeks, his numbers are going to change from moderate and below average to probably peak health and low risk.
I know you've got a lot you could talk about Adrian Peterson.
Well, Adrian Peterson. So when the injury came out, the video, we actually, Inside Injuries, diagnosed the meniscal tear before anything else came out. And lo and behold, he's got one of the most complex meniscal tears out there, a bucket handle tear, which requires surgery, lots of rehab, 16 weeks he needs. I don't think we're going to see him again this season. Yeah.
Okay, how about Jonathan Stewart?
So Jonathan Stewart, a lot of people started him in their fantasy league. So he's got a grade 1 hamstring strain. Optimal recovery time, the good news is 1 week. So if he stays out for 1 week, he's going to be good to go in the second week. But if he plays this week, look for elevated injury risk. He's at 19%.
All right, now you know about the injuries from a guy who knows. Next, we're coming back with some predictions with Jeffrey. Stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
In football, as in the legal system, it helps to know your opponent. I'm Roger Orlando, and I used to work for the insurance companies. I've seen their playbook, and I know their game plan. If you've been hurt in an auto accident, call me at 678 Law Firm.
Do you suffer from irritability, boredom, and chronic cravings? Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails are clinically proven to improve your mood and leave you with a full belly. Mellow Mushroom is fast-acting, giving you relief when you need it the most. Side effects of Mellow Mushroom may include salivation, euphoria, and an insatiable craving for more Mellow Mushroom. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. She may want to come with you.
The 2016 Nissan Altima. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. With forward emergency braking that could stop for you. Take on sudden stops in Nissan Sentra, Altima, and Maxima with intelligent safety shield technologies. Get to your local Nissan store today for 0% financing for up to 72 months, or save up to $4,500 on the 2016 Altima.
Introducing Longhorn's Great American Steak Dinner for $12.99. Perfectly seasoned sirloin with your choice of side, plus an appetizer. Or a dessert. Only at Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't get blindsided by the insurance company. I'm Roger Orlando, and I built a winning team to run interference against the insurance companies and get your case across the goal line. Call me at 678 Law Firm.
Today's lightning round is brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, now featuring Great American Steak Dinner. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
Bob Whitfield, I know you like Stanford's Christian McCaffrey.
He is a triple threat. He's rushing, he's receiving, he got returns. He's the biggest thing you've seen out of the Pac-12 since Reggie Bush, and he probably is going to be a Heisman winner if he keeps it up.
He's running for 150, catching passes for 50 yards. And now, Jeffrey, how about your picks?
In the colleges, I think Pitt's going to score a lot of points against North Carolina. Take the 7 with Pitt. LSU humiliated Auburn last year. I think Auburn's going to get revenge. Take the points with Auburn. I like McCaffrey, too. Give the 3 with Stanford over UCLA.
All right, how about the NFL?
Got to have a better week than last week. It's now or never for Jacksonville. I like them with the 1.5. Jets are playing great ball. Kansas City's a little bit of a disappointment. Take the 3. This is a cheap number. I don't know where they came up with this. I like Pittsburgh 3.5 over Philly. Philly's beating nobody.
All right, there you go. That's your picks. That's all you need to know. Thanks to all of you. We'll see you next week at 9 o'clock on Football's Play to Win.
Today's show has been brought to you by Volvo Cars of Marietta, Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, and the Southeast Nissan Dealers.